Now, if you're a filmmaker or videographer that owns a gimbal, but you're just not getting the smooth professional shots that you were hoping for, then chances are you're probably making some classic beginner mistakes. So in this video, I'm going to run through the top 8 mistakes made by every new filmmaker so that you know exactly what to avoid. A big thanks to Filmmaker for sponsoring this video. I'm going to be shooting everything on the new Sculp Mini 2 combined with the iPhone 15 Pro Max. But as always, all gear used in this video will be linked in the description below. Now, let's jump straight in with classic beginner mistake number 1, moving too fast. When you move your gimbal too fast, it can result in footage that looks unnatural and jarring to the viewer. Moving your gimbal too quickly will result in a loss of smoothness. Gimbals are designed to stabilize and smoothen footage. Fast movements exceed the gimbal's ability to maintain stability, leading to shaky, jerky shots that defeat the purpose of using a gimbal. So the next time you're out on a shoot, practice slow and controlled movements. Start by practicing shots that have deliberate camera movements. This helps getting a feel for the responsiveness of your gimbal and ensures smoother shots. Also, be sure to adjust your gimbal's settings. Some gimbals offer different speed settings for movement. This one, for example, has fast, medium, or slow motor speed. Personally, I find the slower settings give the best results. So be sure to experiment with these settings and find the right balance between speed and smoothness to best suit your shooting style. Okay, classic mistake number 2, not balancing your gimbal correctly. A filmmaker not properly balancing their gimbal is a little bit like a runner not tying their shoelace before a really important race. Not properly balancing your gimbal can lead to shaky footage, affecting the overall quality of your video, whereas a balanced gimbal ensures smooth and stabilized shots, enhancing the professional look of your work. For beginners, mastering gimbal balancing is crucial to achieve professional results. This will prevent distractions caused by jittery or uneven footage that can distract from the intended narrative. It's quick and easy to do and makes a huge difference to your footage.
Hello. You're friendly, aren't you, eh? Wow, hello. How you doing? Nice to meet you. You don't mind if I put you on YouTube, do you?
Okay, mistake number 3 is shooting without intention. Now, a very common mistake when first starting out using a gimbal is to hit record and just start walking around filming everything that you see. And although this will give you a smoother looking shot compared to shooting handheld, without purpose or intent behind your shots, it's going to feel messy and all over the place. Now, these shots don't need to be long shots. Start by practicing shots that are between 5 and 10 seconds long, but make them purposeful. Take this church, for example. Someone shooting without intent might hit record, casually walk up towards it, move the gimbal around, yeah, that's good enough, and move on to the next shot. But to make this shot 10 times better, let's shoot with intent. I'm going to start from further away with my camera facing down. I'm going to hit record, start pushing forward, keeping my movement nice and consistent, and as I get closer, I'm going to tilt up to reveal my focal point. A much better shot, so much more professional. So think about your shot before you hit record and you will massively transform your results. If you'd like to learn 10 easy go-to gimbal moves, then I will link a video up here in the cards. And if you're just starting out and you'd like a crash course in shooting cinematic videos using your phone, then I have a course that covers everything. I will link it below. Okay, the next mistake is shooting everything at eye level. Now, when consistently shooting everything at eye level with a gimbal, you risk creating a monotonous visual narrative that lacks depth and variety. Eye level shots, whilst natural, can become incredibly boring very quickly and may not effectively convey the intended emotions, feelings, or mood that you're looking to create. So to fix this very common mistake, be sure to explore alternate camera angles. Shooting with a gimbal makes it much easier to get your camera low to the ground, so take advantage of it. This gimbal, combined with an extension grip, means I barely need to bend down in order to get a low shot. Low angles create a much more dramatic look, and the camera movement is emphasized as the ground quickly passes beneath. Try getting your camera higher for a more interesting angle. Look for more unconventional perspectives to help add visual interest to your films and videos. Experimenting with different camera angles allows you to communicate your story more dynamically and captivate audiences through varied and purposeful compositions. Okay, the next mistake is not using your gimbal's features. Now, every gimbal will have different features to help you get the smoothest shots possible, so don't make the mistake of not using them. This gimbal, for example, has built-in AI tracking tracking, and it's really impressive and easy to use, especially if you're a solo filmmaker. For example, let's say I was a travel filmmaker looking to capture some cinematic solo B-roll. Well, to do this, all I need to do is give this gimbal the OK gesture, and the gimbal will begin tracking me, and it's incredibly accurate. Even if I walk behind something, the gimbal will continue tracking. And as you can imagine, if you don't have a camera operator to help you on shoots, then this is a complete game changer. This gimbal has wireless Bluetooth control, joystick and motion control. It allows you to shoot in both horizontal and vertical video. Plus, this is a hybrid all-in-one gimbal. Some gimbals only hold one type of camera, whereas this one holds just about anything. Mirrorless cameras, mobile phones, compact cameras, action cameras. So be sure to check what features your gimbal has, because you might be missing out on making the whole process so much easier. Okay, mistake number 6 is holding the gimbal too far out. The closer your gimbal is to your body, the smoother your shots will be. Holding your gimbal too far away from your body can compromise stability and result in shaky footage. The closer the gimbal is to your body, the smoother your shots will be. This will minimize unwanted vibrations and allow for more control. For optimal performance, bring your gimbal closer to your body and try to maintain a compact and centered grip on the gimbal's handle. Keeping the gimbal close to your body will utilize your body's natural stabilization. There will of course always be times when you'll need to extend your arms, whether that's to capture a high-up shot or a low shot, but with your basic movements like your push forwards or your orbits, keep your gimbal close to your body. Okay, the next mistake is only using one gimbal mode. Relying solely on one gimbal mode can limit the creative possibilities and the effectiveness of your filmmaking. It's a bit like buying a car but only ever using first gear. First gear is great for pulling away, but terrible for other scenarios. So learn your gimbal modes and use the best one for each shot. Let's quickly run through the top 3 gimbal modes and what they do. Lock mode. In lock mode, all 3 axes are locked, and no matter which way you move your hand, the gimbal keeps the camera in a fixed position. This mode works well for a push forward shot or any movement where you want your camera to remain in a fixed position. But using alternate gimbal modes enables you to adapt to varying subject movements. For instance, tracking a fast-moving subject might require a different mode than capturing a stationary subject. Pan follow mode. In pan follow mode, the pan axis follows the movement of your hand. So let's say you wanted to capture a fast-moving car, then this mode is going to allow you to do it much easier. You've also got FPV mode or first-person view mode. This is great for action shots because in this mode, the pan, tilt and roll axis all follow the movement of your hand, and this creates dynamic and immersive shots that mirror the operator's motions. A time and a place for each of these modes, so be sure to experiment. Practice shots using different modes and gradually incorporate these shots into your filmmaking and use them to enhance your storytelling. Okay, the next mistake is always walking or running with your gimbal. A common beginner mistake when using a gimbal is to assume that you need to be walking or running to capture a good shot, and this simply just isn't the case. Sometimes just using your arms and upper body to create the movement is far more effective. Let's take this reveal shot from behind this tree, for example. I don't need to be walking in order to capture this shot. It's all in the arms and upper body. It is possible to capture this shot by walking, but it's far more likely to be shaky due to the uneven ground, and it's just not necessary. So when using a gimbal, before you hit record, ask yourself, do you need to be walking in order to capture this shot? Because if the answer is no, just use your arms and upper body to create the movement. I have an entire video dedicated to gimbal moves without moving your feet. I will link it in the cards. Okay, now the next mistake is using the wrong gimbal for your setup. Whether this is using a gimbal that can't handle the payload of your camera, which will put huge strain on the gimbal's motors, resulting in shaky footage, or having a gimbal that's just too big and overkill for your setup. Take this gimbal here, for example, the Scorp Mini 2. This is perfect for a smartphone setup like this. It can handle a payload of around about 1200 grams, so it can easily take the larger phone size. However, if I was looking to put my main camera on here with a bigger, bulkier lens, then this gimbal would definitely struggle. If that was the case, I'd be better off going with the Scorp 2, designed for heavier payloads, or if I was really looking to push things from a weight perspective, then I would go for the Scorp Pro. This can take up to a 4.8 kilo payload, so much more suited to DSLR and cinema cameras. So be sure to invest in the right gimbal for you and for your setup for the best results possible. As always, all gear used in this video will be linked in the description below. If you'd like to learn 10 easy gimbal moves to make anyone look epic, then be sure to watch this video here. But that's it from me. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.